Shares of Hims and Hers soaring 27% today after announcing it will offer a compounded GLP-1 injection that patients can access via providers on its platform. The drugs are not FDA tested or recommended, but allowed because of current supply shortages. Hims and Hers falling behind providers like Ro in offering compounded formulas. Prescriptions start at $199 a month, far below the list prices of FDA-approved drugs currently offered by Lilly and Novo. But how does the new offering really size up against existing competition? Let's ask Hims and Hers Senior Vice President of Weight Management, Dr. Craig Primack. Dr. Primack, great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
The price obviously is much, much lower. What do you tell patients, though, about safety, particularly when the FDA has issued warnings about the safety of compounded semaglutide?
We spent a lot of time at Hims and Hers trying to find a pharmacy that would able to give us both quality. And so the pharmacy was very vetted. They went over 400 different observations. It is a 403B compounding facility, which is inspected by the FDA. And we had to find not only quality, but also affordability and supply.
Sure. There's two types, 503A and 503B, 503B being FDA licensed, FDA inspected, and so on. But still, they are, I would assume, making a compounded version of semaglutide that's either semaglutide acetate or semaglutide sodium. And the FDA, in its warning in January, has said that it has no basis. The FDA is not aware of any basis for compounding a drug using semaglutide salts, sodium, that would meet federal requirements. Do you tell patients that this is just as safe as a brand name drug? So what are patients getting into at this point? I understand that it's going to be huge for the business of Hims and Hers. But how do you ensure that the patients are aware of what the risks may be?
Yeah, great question. And the first thing is we are not compounding a salt version. We are compounding the base version. We are not using B12, which a lot of people have used also. This is CGMP qualified and as close to the base compound as you can get.
So close to the base compound meaning what? I mean, is it semaglutide acetate then? Or is it something else that I'm not aware of?
We call it semaglutide base. So
base.
It is not a salt form at all. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Okay. What does the trajectory, do you think? You work not only with Hims and Hers, but also at various weight management centers in the Phoenix area. What do you think the trajectory is as prices start coming down? I mean, already with coupons, you can get some of these brand name drugs for $500 a month, which is very different from the list price. And then eventually there will be generics, granted that's sometime in the future. How do you see this in terms of it being a sustainable part of Hims and Hers business?
It's not just semaglutide. So we are offering a complete weight loss solution. So we do have oral medications, we have compounded medications. And right now, using the numbers that you do, people cannot go to the local pharmacies. I'm in Arizona, especially in Arizona, and there's a 3 or 4 week wait just to get them even at those prices. As the prices seem to come down and more Americans are able to take care of their health through weight loss as a comprehensive fashion, I think we will be able to match our supply to what they need.
Do you have any sense of who the incremental customer is at this point? Are these people who have prescriptions because of, cardiac needs or, actually they're obese? Because I've been on some of these telehealth sites as part of my documentary, and you can very easily, without having the proper BMI, get compounded semaglutide from a pharmacy.
We use what we call FDA criteria. So your BMI has to be over 30 or 27 with several weight-related factors if we're using compounded semaglutide. And also you have to be a candidate. So you don't have any other of the problems that you could potentially have that would make you a non-candidate, which is why we also offer the oral medicines also. So if you're not a candidate for one, you will be a candidate for a comprehensive approach to all of them.